Jagmeet Singh, like all socialists, is a supreme hypocrite. He proved that again today. Here's what he said about the housing market.
Talk to you about the story of what we're going through in our country. And it's a story of corporate greed versus people. And it is a story that's been going on for decades. We have a housing market that is designed to make rich investors richer. And it is working exactly as designed by liberals and conservatives.
If Jagmeet Singh actually believes this, then it's a miracle he can understand or comprehend anything at all. Does he not understand that rich investors, the investors that he hates apparently, are required in order to build homes? Are people with no capital building homes for others? Is that what they're doing? Are people with no capital, those who are barely scraping by, are they also at the same time building homes with that capital that they don't have so that other people can live in those homes? Is that what they're doing? Investors are required for industry in the nation. Investment is required to build homes, build factories, build industry, build other necessities, and produce goods that we in the country need. Does Singh not understand that? Does he not realize that in order for a man to build a house or do anything at all, he has to be guaranteed that he's going to earn profit? He's going to earn something back so that it's worth his expenditure of time, capital, intellect, struggle, stress, and so on and so on? Are we just supposed to do that for free? Is Jagmeet Singh working for free? Is he working without salary? Is he doing all of this activism by charity? Yeah, is that how he's working? He must, because otherwise he'd be greedy. Otherwise, he would be exercising that sinful capitalist greed, and heaven forbid he'd do that. No, because he's a champion of the working people. Did you wear your Rolex today, Jagmeet?
And this housing market designed by liberals and conservatives to make rich investors rich is not working for people. It's not working for everyday folks. And it means for everyday folks, a constant fear that your rent's going to go up, constant fear that your mortgage is going to go up, a constant fear that you're going to lose your home. And that's what the people here at TriBench felt at this cooperative. They lived in constant fear for years where they did not know what was going to happen to their housing. They did not know if they were going to have a place to call home. And what that means, we heard from one of the residents, it means losing your community. It means losing your family. For a lot of people, where you live and the community around you is your family. Imagine living in constant fear you're going to lose your family. You're not just going to lose your home, you're going to lose your family, lose your sense of identity, and have nowhere to go. That is a story of a housing market designed for rich investors that ignores the reality of real people. And so we're saying enough is enough. This home for people was saved because of the Renters Protection Fund that the BC NDP brought in. This fund, this Renters Protection Fund, kept this building for the community, kept these homes for people. And that's what we want to do across this country. Conservatives and liberals want to continue to favor rich corporate landlords, rich investors, let them keep on making money, and people end up suffering. We're saying.
So let's translate what Jagmeet Singh is talking about. He wants to completely decimate the nation with socialism. Everywhere that socialism has been seriously tried, it's failed, and it's caused the suffering of countless millions of men and women, and yet still Singh thinks the solution is more socialism. The cause of the housing crisis in Canada is clear and present. It's obvious. Regulation, excess demand, increased government intervention, etc., and yet still this man says we need more of it. We need less investment, less private operation, less profit. How is the economy supposed to operate? Now, of course, we're not defending big businessmen. That's not to say we're pro-big business, not at all. It's very often the case that big business and government are like this, because big business knows if they can be married to government, they're going to be able to handcuff their competition so that competition isn't able to drive down prices and increase efficiency and productivity in the market, which of course leads to benefit for that massive business. What we are saying is without profit, It's impossible to allocate resources efficiently or effectively. Without profit telling investors, telling contractors, telling home buyers what to do, without the profit sending signals around the market saying people want this or they don't want this, it's impossible to allocate resources efficiently, and we are hammered with shortages.
Enough is enough. Let's actually make people the priority. Let's make the residents of this community the priority. Let's make families, young people, seniors, let's make them the priority, and let's build a housing market that works for them. And one of the first things we need to do is make sure we keep the homes that are affordable. Right now, across our country, for every one affordable home that's being built, 11 are lost. That is a losing battle. We have to stop that. And to do that, we want to build on the work of the BC NDP and bring in a national renters protection fund.
Unbelievably bad. Brutal. That is a brutal program. The term because doesn't exist in the NDP's vocabulary. You will notice how intellectually void this entire speech has been already. There is not 1 ounce of real substance to this speech. One of the problems with the NDP, with radical leftists in general, is that they don't understand the word because. They state a fact, or what they believe to be a fact. Let's say it's that housing is decreasing in the country. Let's say that's the fact. But they never dare to say because. They never ask themselves, why is that the case? They look at something, but they never ask the cause of that something, preferring instead to just create these false realities in their minds, these mystical realities that explain away all of these issues in the country, even though it doesn't harmonize with truth at all. Singh is guilty of it. Notley's guilty of it. Sarah Hoffman is guilty of it. All of these NDP radicals are guilty of it. They would be wise to ask themselves, why is so and so the case, instead of simply stating what they believe to be true.
To make sure we keep the homes that are affordable in communities, in the hand of community organizations, keep them affordable. We're done with governments protecting billionaires. We believe the job of government is to protect people, not billionaires, protect homes, not make rich investors richer. That's what our plan is. I'll do that again in French real quickly, and then I'll go to your questions.
Right. So it's not a plan. Singh didn't outline any sort of plan. No one really knows what he's talking about. What exactly does he mean? The government has to work for people and not for billionaires. How is he going to achieve that vision? How is he going to achieve that goal? He bemoans monopoly. He talks about how evil it is that there are a few rich investors, apparently in the nation, who are crushing the common man. He says that's an evil thing. But how is it any different with government? If government becomes the owner of all homes, as Singh would have in his socialist dystopia, then government's the monopolist. A few individuals at the top, Jagmeet Singh and his cabinet, if he were elected to power, would be the monopolists of the nation, and not just with housing, but also with food, rent, vehicles, jobs, etc., etc. In fact, they're a far more powerful monopolist than even the most powerful private monopolist could comprehend. So where does Jagmeet Singh find this moral superiority by which he would say, well, as a government, we wouldn't be tainted. We wouldn't be subject to the evil desires of capitalism, to the evil desires of corporations. What nonsense. All we have to do is look at Singh's bank account, if we were allowed to do so. Has he taken pay cuts? Is government hurting? Are the MPs in government struggling to make ends meet? Or are they perhaps cashing in on their positions? Jagmeet Singh is a hypocrite. Everyone already knew that was the case, as all socialists are. They talk about helping the working man. They talk about protecting the working man. They talk about championing the working man. But as history shows, all they do is oppress him.